Hello, welcome to Construction 25 Garage. Today what we're looking at is my two antique chainsaws and my modern clone Chinese Extreme Power US. And these three saws are old schools. And that one's a little bit more different between the newer saws that were out. But I just like to call it an old school. But anyways, I just want to make a video review on the homelite xl12 and the homelite Super XL, which is the big red. It's the big red limited edition. And this thing was, homelite saws are probably by far one of the most popular firewood saws are ever made. They were made back in the year of 1950s, which is a homelite zip, when they started with the homelites, and they done a good job making them saws back in the day. Into 1960s and 1970s and 80s and 90s, right before their last run in the early 90s. But the homelite zips are 77 cc's, and these saws are 54.2 and 58.2 cc motors. These were the lightest chainsaws when they first introduced them in homelite xl12 back in the year 1963, which is a blue saw, to 1970s when they discontinued them. It was red. And but this saw is a 90s model. It's got an Oregon 20-inch bar with an Echo CS590 chisel chain. I still had the original chain for it, and I don't have original homelite bar, 20-inch bar, to make it look exactly just like this one had an original homelite 16-inch bar. But they are good firewood saws. They're both almost the same saws, but they're different motor size, different years. But let's talk about this one first. But this is the one that I found at the farm from 2 years ago, back in 2021. This is one of the first saws that were made in 1970s. And I think this one's a 1972 model. And but it's an old saw, but it hadn't been used in a long time, so I definitely took it home and change out the fuel line, and then change out the carburetor. Just leave the carburetor where it was in there, and it's just been running fine since. And there's the low-high screw needles. That's where they were set before, back in the day. That's where they were set at. And I put them back right where they were at before. And it's running fine, and it's running great. And now on to the next one. This is the homelite Big Red limited edition saw. This thing was introduced in 1998, right before they went out of business. And there was few of them that's out there. You could still find these everywhere in your hometown, just like my hometown. It was the Big Red, which is that one. It was the Old Blue limited edition. Then it was the John Deere 350 CS, same model as a homelite, Super XL. And then back in 2000, they made one of these. Husqvarna 55 wrencher. The Husqvarna 55 wrencher was introduced in 2000, but this is not a Husqvarna 55 wrencher. That is the Extreme Power 82100 XP. But I just definitely want to make that out. It is exactly close as a Husqvarna 55 Rancher, but it's close. It's about almost the same as the Husqvarna 55 Rancher. It's got a 22-inch bar, 22-inch broken chain, and so I did went out to the service station to get some fuel for my John Deere utility vehicle, because today is the garbage day, because I'm going to take out the trash. And there's my 2 cans I already fill up, 50-to-1 mixed. I put it in the 50-to-1 mix, and that one right there is 40-to-1. I think I might end up filling this can up sometime. Maybe sometime I might, if I want to use that old can again. But they are very good old saws. They look like old school, but it's an old school saw to me. But they do start and run good. And I think I might fire up one of them, but not 3 of them at the same time, because it'll bust in my eardrums if I have 3 of them running at the same time. Which is, it's not a good idea to run all of them at the same time, but it'll bust in your eardrums. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm only going to start them at 1 at a time. Only 1 at a time. This should be good right there. And this one's got a toggle switch, just like the homelites do, including the steel 031AV. It reminds me of older saws like the McCullough and the homelight Zip. I already got them warmed up and then shut fire up 1 pull. Very good saw. I really like it. And I really like the xl12, which is a little bit small, but it's still the same height as the big red. Anyways, they're very good saws, and I really like them. And anyways, but This is the one I'm going to be using to cut firewood this year. Because I want to try it out and see if it cuts good and for a real test. And when that thing gets way too hot, I'll let that thing cool off and use that one. And when that one gets too hot, I'll use that one to finish it up. So, I was at Harbor Freight yesterday looking for a shop blower where I can use it to blow some of the stuff off my workbench after when I put some stuff onto it. And I did order a Greenworks leaf blower online, and it's definitely going to be coming right by my door on next week or something. That'll be actually kind of cool to use. Use something in here to blow all that stuff out of the shop on the floor. And I'll definitely continue to use the big ones for outdoors. Or cutting grass after mowing. Or blowing leaves. But these are very good saws. But this is the one that my dad's cousin Terry's brother Ron used. But this is definitely going to make me remember his brother Ron. Because Ron used to run that thing a lot. And then after a couple years later, when I was little, he passed away. I'm not even sure what year that happened. Probably it happened in 2008. Probably 2008 when I moved here. Probably 16 years ago, I think. I usually don't go out there a lot, but I usually do when I was a child when I go fishing with my dad and stuff. But I did go out fishing with him when I was a little boy. My Uncle Lonnie had cows. He's got cows, but I used to be scared of them when I was a child. But I was real scared of a cow, which is I thinking it was a bull. But Dad said that cow ain't gonna bother me, which I realized he ain't gonna hurt me. But that cow ain't gonna hurt me because those cows are actually friendly to people, including friendly to me. They're friendly to my dad. Those cows are friendly to my dad all the time. They usually come by and check up on us and see what we're up to. Lonnie usually let them eat all the grass on the field. And he usually cuts brush down sometimes, but right before he passed away, and until about after about 2 years later when I come back there, and I seen this saw, Steel 031 AV electronic, and I did fix it up a long time ago, right before. This is the one that Lonnie quit using, and we already did that. We already did a video on this about a year ago than this year. But now this year, it's going to be the first time being used when I cut firewood with it. But me and Jim are going to see how long it's going to last. But if that thing still runs okay, as long as the coil doesn't get too hot, I will continue to use it. But as long as the coil doesn't get too hot under this thing, we should be okay. But if it does quit, I'll let it cool off. And it's just an old saw, but it had a different 20-inch bar. Just like my MS-291. I think I may end up bringing that and the MS-291 and my 2010 Husky 455 Rancher. But I do got two of them. One that's got a Far and Tough bar, and one's got a Echo bar. Echo 20-inch bar. And there's my little home light. I'll definitely make another video on these saws again. But this time with that one, what different sizes of different home lights are on the next video after this one. So, anyways, there's the video on my homelite xl12 xl12 and my homelite Big Red. Not sure what year model this one is. It's got a tag on it. I think I might have to put it on my jaw horse and see what year it is. I think this one's a 1999, I think. Let me move this recoil out of the way. Let's see if I can get you to focus on it. I know this is a 1998 model. I do have an owner's manual, but not a manual like this for the Big Red. There's the red field cap because it blends in with the red. I like red caps. And also the cover is finally dry and it's finally finished. I think I may need to use 2 hands to get that off. Here we go. So as you can see, the inside of it is dry, and top of it is dry. It looks like brand new again. I'll let you watch me getting this on this chainsaw. There we go. There's the low-high screw needles, just like on the xl12. They did a good job adding this thing on there to keep the high jet. You can only adjust the low and the auto speed right there. But this has got an easy recoil starter on it. Make it so much easier where you can pull it so easier without it jerking on you. But that's definitely a great design for it. It's a little bit heavy, but I'm definitely stout. I can definitely handle a heavy saw. I can definitely handle it. So, anyways, there's the video on my homelite xl12s and the Big Red, or an xl12, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, there's the video on my homelite xl12s and the modern saw. Anyways, I got another video coming up, which is a homelite history on homelite chainsaws, which I'm definitely you're gonna see these things again with another homelite saw. Anyways, thanks for watching and stay tuned for another video.